What up, y'all? I know not everyone feels like listening to a 40+ minute poll plans video for the month, so I broke it up to abbreviate my thoughts in a more easily digestible way. I know half of y'all, though, ain't subscribed, so go ahead and do that. Like the video, leave a comment with what you think about the upcoming content and your plans as well. And if you want to see the whole video, I'll be providing a link to that as well. Check that out for sure. Thanks a million, and now let's get into what you're really here for, alright? Ishtola Heretic. I think it's a beatbag. I never know what these events are called. Anyways, let me talk about Ishtola. First off, she's getting a rework. Skill 1 has more hits, and it has a guaranteed HP attack. Skill 1 plus hits harder, and batteries party based on damage done. You're probably always going to have the plus version up anyways. Skill 2 gets 2 more uses. It heals party and does not add to the turn count. Her LD boards, and note, this is not her LD board rework she gets with Burst Plus. Don't expect this. It's not going to happen anyway. Her LD re-breaks enemies if they're already broken, and it's a 100% AoE attack that also batteries the party before the attack. She also gets a new overhead from her LD that goes up 3 stacks. She actually starts the quest with this LD overhead equipped, so you don't even need to use the LD to get it up. It's just always there. And the stacks increase after Ishtola batteries herself, which is every button she presses, which also includes her C65. Consider that if you're trying to do some clutch turn manipulation. It gives her... Actually, no, it gives the party some attack. I think it's 20% only, which is pretty low, unfortunately. And she gets a new Brave attack. That also is an HP attack. At 0 to 2 stacks, it's a self-battery into a split AoE, Brave plus HP with refund. So it's a kind of whack. And at 3 stacks, this is the good one. It's 3 times 2 AoE Brave plus HP attack. So a triple dump. Very pretty, and it hits hard. Well, it doesn't necessarily hit hard, but it does a lot of damage, potentially. And her limit breaks give her a ton of attack and eye brave. Her call abilities is her skill 1, not super impressive. It's a single target delay with party battery, no effect for the caller. And her LD call, again, no effect, just a rebreak and AoE damage. And she's getting a burst as well. Her finisher is the self battery into a big split HP attack, and the effect is attack up, overflow up, brave damage, cap up, HP damage plus 20 when the party members party members attacking are higher than their eye brave, which is pretty much always. If you're in the party with Ishtola, she's going to be battering you on everything, so you will be higher than your eye brave. So this should be good to go generally. Now her high armor is support. It's not super impactful, and I wouldn't grab this unless you plan to run her a lot. Ishtola won't spend a lot of time at that cap. I don't see it happening, but that 5% extra attack is okay, but really it's not super big for her, so you can potentially pass on this one. Additionally, Kuja is getting an 80 in LD boards. His LD boards give him party overflow on his overhead, 20% more overflow for the party, and that's it. Yes, that is it. His 80 and the ability to use call abilities are more impactful than his LD boards. These will certainly get reworked later. Kuja's still good regardless. His call ability, regular one, is skill 1. It does damage and drops his imperil AoE. And his LD call is his LD just does damage, but it's very good for co-ops. It's a lot of damage in a short span of time. Awesome. What do I think about this event as a whole? Well, Kuja got pretty much nothing except for the ability to use calls. Feels bad. Can't wait to use that extra overflow on Ultimo that never caps. Kuja burst plus waiting room, absolutely. Shtola's in an interesting spot. I think she's very clunky on release, and I did not personally like using her in JP. This was not an uncommon opinion on release either. Even the Final Fantasy 14s I know, like Alphino and Infighter, and please correct me if I'm misquoting you guys, but I know you guys weren't quite feeling her. You ran her and stuff, but they weren't quite feeling it until like when she felt smooth when she got Burst Plus. Keep in mind, I say all that, she's plenty usable, but in my opinion, I think she's kind of mid. Her basic Brave Plus sucks, and her burst effect is just okay compared to others. However, she does have that loaded burst plus and LD board rework down the line that pretty much solves her issues. If you get her burst now, you're going to get the double dip later, and in that regard, she's potentially a safe token choice. I might token her personally because I might gem pity Garland, and I might gem pity Bartz. Those are also good pickups as well. So yeah, just keep your eyes open, or your mind open, I should say, for Ishtola's burst. Am I pulling? Yes, I always go for the 2-week synergy. I'm not burst chasing, but always nice to have. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I pull one. Her LD will be sufficient for challenge quests, and as always, I'll hedge myself if I manage to pull the burst. I'm not getting her high armor because it's largely pointless. She's not going to be hidden cap, and I don't see myself using her much outside of synergy, so it is what it is. But overall, Shtola's solid. I not a big fan. I think she's pretty skippable now, but just consider that when she does come back later, she is with Renoa's LD. And her burst is on the banner, and I forget the third, but if it's just an EX plus unit, who cares anyways. But Renoa LD is on the other banner, and then it's split between Zidane LD and burst on the other banner, and Beatrix LD also getting LD boards at that point as well. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking skip for later. It might not be the best choice, or maybe it is, who knows. The fight is an interesting one. It's the return of the Deuce Krakens. There's no immunity, so go crazy. Whip back out the Paladin Cecil, so you can use them now. The orb is to heal by 50% of your HP plus 5 per party member. So an AoE heal, it's plus 15. It's not that big of a deal of an orb if you got consistent heals. Thankfully, there's no magic only this time. Melee counters are gone and any other garbage, but they have some different goodies. Now, they gain a ton of Brave after their AoE HPs, so you either gotta cut them down or eat the attack and heal after. The really nasty part is when they drop below, I think it's 80% and 50. They cleanse, they become debuff immune, they frame their turns, and they're immune to break delay. You can't avoid what's coming next. The next attack is a nuke. They do a big Brave gain into hard hitting attacks, and they ignore HP damage reduction. This can be dodged. This can be waited out or tanked by last stand. And the restrictions release after they do this attack. They target whoever has the most HP, and they swap if it changes. Now listen, because this is a bit hard to explain. You have to see it in practice, really. Say A and B have consecutive turns, right? And they're both targeting Celis, who has the highest HP. A blows Celis up, and her health is at 1, and B's turn is immediately after. B will retarget without having taken an action the next highest HP member. So say the next highest HP party member is Y'shtola, and Y'shtola is going to get attacked as well. So double last stand or dodge can get through this. Just make sure your HP passes are allocated correctly. If Gladio's covering everyone and the bosses get back-to-back turns A and B, Gladio will just die because they ignore HP damage reduction. So they'll sell Gladio to 1, A will, and they'll target someone else, but Gladio will also cover them. And then they'll punch Gladio and kill him. So just think about how it's all set up. It's possible to get through with him, obviously, but there's some different strategies you can do. It might be possible to revive through it and live as well, but I don't know about that for a fact. Who am I running? JP, I ran Celes, Aerith, and Paladin Cecil and just ate the attacks with Celes and Aerith, and we just coasted through. In global, I want to run Aerith again because I love using her. So probably her with Y'shtola and a third. Probably Squall, Y'shtola, Squall, Aerith. Yeah, that sounds good. Maybe I'll get spicy and run Gallos just to dodge the attacks, but I don't know. Bunch of options for this fight. Hope you guys enjoy. And that's it. Hope you all enjoyed the clip and found it informative. I do try my best, generally. If you haven't already done so, please like the video, comment what you think and your plans, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more great content. The full video is linked, so check that out as well. Continue showing love. Good luck, everybody. Peace.